Now, I don't do movie reviews, at least not on YouTube. That's just not my shtick. But after seeing the new Ghostbusters trailer recently, my jaw just dropped and I couldn't believe how utterly awful it was in every single way. It was just horrible. Now, I made this point before on the new Star Wars movie when it came out, and I think the same applies here. They just don't make movies today the way they did in the 70s and 80s. In some ways, that's a good thing, but in most, I don't think it is. I don't care how many characters you slap on it. I don't care how many cameos you have. What's made today just isn't Star Wars, or in this case, Ghostbusters. It just isn't. They don't make that kind of movie anymore. Trying to recapture that for nostalgia purposes just isn't possible in today's cinema. But that's not all that's wrong with this monstrosity. Granted, we've only got this one trailer to go by, and movies have had bad trailers before, but I haven't seen a single good review of this trailer. Not one. I've seen some people saying things that aren't really about the trailer though, but we'll wait till the end of this review for that. So, let's take a look at this hot steaming mess and see exactly what the hell went wrong. So far, so good. I had heard, obviously from an unreliable source, that they were going to pretend the original movies never took place, and I'm glad to see that was incorrect. Or maybe they had so many concerns with this movie that they figured they needed all the nostalgia help they could get. I don't know. In any case, I'm glad to see that part of it at least, even if it is factually incorrect, because guess what? Winston wasn't a scientist, but I'll let that slip. Honestly, if they had just stopped there, I would have been cool with it. Seriously, showing no footage whatsoever from this movie would have been far superior to what we actually got to see. But instead,
it's a class 4 operation. It's okay. She seems peaceful. My name is Erin Gilbert, Doctor of Particle Physics. That stuff went everywhere, by the way, in every crack. Very hard to wash off.
what the hell? Is this like Nickelodeon? I mean, it looks like a flashback to You Can't Do That on Television. Now, yeah, the original had slime, but it was ectoplasm. It was a natural part of the ghost metabolism. Nobody vomited goo. And another thing, isn't that ghost way the hell too neon? Yeah, the old ghosts, they glowed a faint green, but this is Roger Rabbit's Toontown. It needs to be dialed way the hell back.
We have dedicated our whole lives to studying the paranormal. Now there's sightings all over the city. There are people out there that need our help. Holtzman, you're a brilliant engineer. Erin, no one's better at quantum physics than you. We can provide a real service.
That bit was okay. It felt more or less like the original Ghostbusters. It more or less justified why the members are on the team. Now, I don't care if they're male or female. I don't care if they're black or white. I just want this to feel like Ghostbusters. It needs to have the right vibe, and this particular segment is fine, I guess. They might even be trying a little bit too hard here, but, you know. Too bad the whole thing goes to hell from here.
I'm joining the club.
You guys are really smart about this science stuff, but I know New York. And I can borrow a car from my uncle.
You didn't disclose that the vehicle was going to be a hearse.
It's a Cadillac!
Wait, what? Seriously? These people have never even seen the original Ghostbusters? Ecto-1 is always a hearse. It's the perfect vehicle for their line of work. Now, I could understand that reaction if this was a complete reboot, where they were just starting from scratch, but it isn't. They already acknowledged that 30 years ago, the original Ghostbusters were active. Clearly, they know about it because they're using their colors and designs. So, what the fuck? Oh, and you're getting a lot of people complaining that Leslie Jones is the token black Ghostbuster and isn't a scientist. Well, that's how Ernie Hudson was in the original. Was that racist too? Yeah, but that's something I'll talk about at the end, so be patient.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Oh. Did you want to?
Sorry. I'll let you.
Next time. Okay.
Let's go? That's their iconic battle cry? Let's go? And they're arguing about who gets to say it? See, this is the biggest problem with the trailer. There's absolutely nothing funny in it at all. Not once. I never laughed. I think the only time I smiled was when I saw Ecto-1, and not because I thought it was cool in this movie, but because it made me feel nostalgic for the original. Oh, and there's the sequence where we see Slimer for a second, and that didn't make me see, wait, I want to see this. It made me want to go watch the original. Absolutely nothing in this trailer made me care about this movie in any way, shape, or form. This movie sucks. Let me go watch the original. It's a much better film.
Someone is creating a device that amplifies paranormal activity.
Why does this feel like Scooby-Doo? I mean, honestly, doesn't it?
And we might be the only ones who can stop it.
Holtzman, come on.
The hat is too much, right? Is it the wig or the hat?
No, it's that you're an idiot. You're not funny. Not funny at all. You're just an idiot. Okay, bunch of stuff shooting and licking guns and... ew. None of this makes me want to know any of these characters at all. Not remotely. At all. And if the trailer can't make you interested in the film, in the situation, or in the characters, what use is it?
There's a bigger picture at hand here. These ghosts can possess the human form.
Now, this could have been kind of an interesting idea, especially since it could be sort of seen as a callback to Ghostbusters 2 with the mood slime that affected people's emotions. I kind of get the feeling like Ray, Egon, and Winston, where they're fighting after they get out of the sewers and have to take their clothes off to keep from killing each other. That would have been kind of interesting. But then this happens.
Oh, hell no, the devil is a liar! Get out of my friend, Ghost!
Ow, that's gonna leave a mark.
The power of pain compels you!
Ow!
And so now we've got out-and-out violence between the Ghostbusters. You've got one of them bitch-slapping the other one. Okay, yeah, the original Ghostbusters fought, but they never got into a serious physical altercation. At the end of the day, they were all friends, and when the going got tough, they all came together. They didn't beat on each other. And once again, this isn't funny! I can tell it won't be this movie. This movie is going to voicemail. Okay, maybe I and pretty much everyone on the planet who's seen this turd is overreacting. After all, it's just the first trailer. It may have been a really horrible cut with the wrong tone, or maybe the studio is going to look at the complete wave of hatred coming from the internet and recut the movie into something better. We just don't know, and I'm willing to give it a chance. But as this trailer stands right now, I have no interest of any kind of seeing this movie ever. Ever. Not in the theater, not on Blu-ray, not for free, and not if they paid me. Ever. And that's a shame. Even though I never thought Ghostbusters needed a third movie, if it's done right, I can see it. This isn't done right. This is done entirely wrong, and every single YouTube video I've seen on it has said the same damn thing. Now that doesn't mean everyone hates it though. I've seen some posts by feminists who are extolling the virtues of the film. Of course, The only thing they care about is that it has 4 women. They don't care if the movie's good. They just want to see their leftist ideology on the big screen. Now, I mentioned Leslie Jones earlier as the sole black character, so let's get back to that. The movie is, for good or ill, retreading the original, and I have no problem with that in particular. But some people are shitting their pants because our black Ghostbuster is just an add-on with a car. Personally, from a social justice warrior perspective, I'm kind of surprised they didn't make this a smorgasbord of liberal social tropes. They could have had the white gay dwarf, the black transgender in a wheelchair, the non-traditionally gendered Hispanic, and some Asian crossdresser with a lisp. Why the hell not? Hit all the bullet points. And Chris Hemsworth, he could be the cisgender white male whipping boy that gets all the feminist ire. What the hell? I could see it. Couldn't be any worse than this shit. The other thing I've seen with a lot of glee is that not only are all the Ghostbusters female, but the ghosts are all female too. Have you people seen the original? Almost all the ghosts in the original were female. From the ghostly librarian at the beginning to Gozer, they're all clearly female. Alright, yeah, there was that male ghost cabbie in one shot, and I guess you could maybe make the case that Slimer could be male, although he never says anything, and he certainly has no visible genitalia, but if you want to say that, fine. But the majority of ghosts were absolutely female. The original Ghostbusters has a far better gender ratio than this one does, at least going off the trailer. In the end, this movie needs a lot of work. First off, it's not funny. This is supposed to be a comedy. You might actually want to have some comedy in your comedic movie. This one isn't funny at all. There isn't one funny thing in this trailer, and trailers are supposed to be the best your movie has to offer. Secondly, dial down the neon. Every ghost in this thing looks ridiculous. I mean, the original had some silly looking ghosts, but they were almost all practical effects. This is all CGI, and it looks, for lack of a better word, plastic. Third, and I think this is probably most important, this thing looks childish. It looks like a kid's movie. I know I said earlier that it came off looking like Scooby-Doo, and it does. I half expected a CGI cartoon dog to go running by going, "Ruh-roh, Reggie." The original wasn't horror by any means, but it had things that were scary in it. Go back and look at the original 1984 trailer. Yeah, it's a good thing they don't make trailers like that anymore, especially the voiceover, but there's a good mix of funny and scary. This one has neither. All it does is make you wish you were watching a far better movie. So, do you agree with me or not? While I'll probably not be doing any more movie reviews, it's fun to look at some of the things that Hollywood does to see if it makes any sense, and this movie doesn't make any sense. Now, it could be a lot better than it looks. After all, we've only seen 2.5 minutes of this in a trailer. But it could also be a lot worse. Trailers usually give the best parts of the movie. If this is the best this movie has to offer, this movie is in trouble, and it has nothing to do with the gender of the cast. It has to do with the quality of the acting, the quality of the writing, and the horrible way it's put together. But what the hell do I know, right?